Hi, welcome to Hikate's Crossing. As we sort of further our tarot study, I want to continue with the Dream Oracle book. Now, I sort of looked at it, and I have sort of looked at it, and I want to sort of revisit um, this book in many ways. So, the Dream Oracle combines dreams through the symbolism and tarot. Okay, so, but what I want to do is just look at the tarot aspect of the cards. Now, I'm not going to get into like the history of it and the whole connecting tarot and dreams, so to speak, but I definitely want to sort of talk about tarot in some level just to further our study. This is a really good book just to further your tarot connection, just to sort of connect with the Major Arcana and the Minor Arcana in a little bit more depth. So we've talked about in the videos, you would have had tarot and dreams, tarot packs, meditation, the tarot meditation in itself. And now we're going to sort of look a little bit more into, and I suppose I have gone through a little bit with the cards in some way, but I just want to have another look at the Fool. So let's begin with the Fool. Just for an example, I'm not going to go through them all at this stage, but let's just, not today anyway. So let's just look at the Fool. Which then was wisdom and which was folly? The Fool, as I think, at the chasm's brink, did even as I in the end rejoice. Arthur Ed Waite, 1857 to 1942. Okay, the image. In the majority of tarot packs, the Fool is not a numbered card as such, but is given the cipher 0. This is to signify the beginning of creativity or the point of nothing, lack of form or the absence of anything. In classic tarot packs, he is shown almost invariably accomplished by a dog and carrying a bundle or knapsack on a branch or wand on one shoulder. He stands at the edge of a precipice, his eyes turned towards the sky. The sun shines down on him and the cold mountains are in the distance. The significance. The Fool in the tarot has two significances. At the beginning of the journey of life, he represents the innocence of youth, a devil-may-care attitude, and a lust for life that will take him far. He faces a future full of promise and carries with him all that is necessary for the first part of his journey. He seems to be unaware of the dangers which might beset him and oblivious to any warnings. The negative aspect of this card reveal folly and sheer exuberance, and if misused, a lack of structure. His lack of attention to detail, shown by his ignorance of the drop below, can become a predicament. The second significance arises at the end of his journey, when he becomes the holy Fool. He has overcome the obstacles that have been set for him. His focus is on the sky towards his heaven. He has no fear of the chasm beneath him, because he knows that if he falls, he can fly. He has tested his faith in himself along with the loyalty of his faithful companion, and has pared down his burdens to the bare necessities that will take him to the next pleasure of his existence. Associations and secondary images. Almost invariably, the main association with the Fool is with freedom. So the associated gods are those slightly wild, unregulated unregulated ones. In Greek and Roman mythology, these are Dionysus and Bacchus, respectively, the god who gifted both wine and ecstasy to humanity. The pagan god is Pan, while in Hindu mythology the goddess would be Kali, as she dances before her transformation into Parvati. The card is ruled by Uranus, known as the planet of seven opportunities, branch or wand. This image both represents and forecasts growth and attainment in the natural and magical arts. Our traveller must learn to live within the physical realm and take advantage of what is to hand to help him on his journey. Cap and feather. In tarot, the headgear a character wears is significant. The feather, which does not droop in our fool's cap, represents the soul, willing obedience and optimism. Dog, the crucial image of the dog represents a loyal, faithful and protective companion. Alert, sometimes he encourages and other times he warns of danger. He is often thought to represent divine wisdom. Knapsack, the fool has not yet burdened himself with non-essentials and takes only what he can carry as easily as possible. He trusts that he will find everything he needs along the way. The knapsack that he carries is sometimes thought to contain those lessons that he must learn on this part of his journey of life. Mountains, these are often shown as cold and inhospitable, an alien world. In this environment, the fool must learn to survive by his wits alone. He must learn to take note of his surroundings and to become aware of danger. Sun, according to our own level of understanding, the sun in the card of the fool signifies either the ultimate goal we can reach or a nurturing, all-powerful source of energy. So the key features of this card is element is air, planet Uranus, numerology. This card is designated as cipher 0 or 0, cipher O or 0, which come from the Arabic Safira, meaning it was empty. It represents the circle of the universe and the mathematical beginning point. Deities are Dionysus, Bacchus, Kali, and Pan. Keywords: innocence, potentiality, spirituality, the beginning and the end. The related concepts are intellect and the powers of the mind, the path of life, the way forward, new ventures, fresh creativity, stepping forward into the unknown. Now that is a lot of information to try and retain, and I certainly don't expect you to. This is just for out of interest. Really, this is just sharing for out of interest, just to sort of develop your own meanings. Look at it just gives you a chance to really look at the imagery and to sort of create maybe 2 or 3 keywords that make sense to you in the moment, and that will change over time, just to get you to really look at the image and to really sort of begin to sort of dive a little deeper into it. Okay, so that's it from me. Don't forget to check the links down below. Check the links on my channel. Like, subscribe, and ring the bell so you know when the next video will be uploaded. Take care. Blessed be. Hi, welcome to Tarot and Dreams. Okay, that was just introducing the Fool. So that was just looking at some of the symbology, looking at the deities, the connections, just sort of getting a little bit of an introduction to the Fool. So you're just starting out with tarot, or you want to explore tarot a little bit further, this is going to give you a little bit more information. So what I'm talking about, of course, is the Dream Oracle by Pamela Ball. Now, I think it is maybe out of print, but I just love sort of diving into this deck when it comes to dreams. Okay, so I've most probably done this before just to sort of introduce you to dreams. So let's sort of talk about what sort of dreams do we have. What's interesting in regards to our dreams? Okay, so we want to think about how do we look at pulling out our tarot decks and diving into dreams. What is the symbology? What are we looking at in the card that relates to maybe a dream that we're having at the moment? Or, you know, we might pull out our tarot deck, whatever tarot deck we decide to use, and sort of pull out a card. You know, what do we want to know about our dreams? So we're dreaming at the moment. We really want to dive deep into our dreams. What do our dreams cover? What's the heart of our dream? What's the heart of our dream? What's the heart of our dream? Oh, to do with the High Priestess. So this is a really good way to look into, you can look into the Dream Oracle and you can think, well, the High Priestess has come out, so let's have a look at what the High Priestess has to say. So let's pull up the High Priestess here. Hi, welcome to Hecate's Crossing. Okay, we're continuing the journey of the Dream Oracle. Okay, so I'm not quite sure what's happening there, but we're continuing with the Dream Oracle. Okay, so we're up to the High Priestess. So do you want me to continue with the series, or are you quite happy to research the information for yourself? It was just to sort of show you the book. Let's continue with the High Priestess at this stage. So let's have a look. So the first one is, wonder is the beginning of wisdom. It's a Greek proverb. The image assigned the number 2, the somewhat cold and aloof High Priestess. A young woman sits on a throne in front of 2 pillars, often with the letter B inscribed on the left, black one, and the letter J on the right, white one. She is richly dressed in a cloak, thus highlighting her purity. This partially hides the scroll she carries, often labeled Torah, meaning truth. Her horned headdress shows her allegiance to the moon, as does the crescent moon at her feet. The cross on her chest has equal arms, signifying that she works in reflected light that brings light into darkness. Behind her is a veil imprinted with palm trees and pomegranates. Seated facing us, she is not prepared to reveal what is hidden unless she finds us worthy. The High Priestess is sometimes shown as the female Pope. Opinions vary as to when this depiction changed from showing her as the head of a church to representing her as the feminine intrinsic link to the divine with her own intuitive abilities. When we also take into account that pre-Christian pagan matriarchal religions in place like Sumeria considered their high priestesses more important than their high priest, this suggests a return to old beliefs. Meeting her, our traveller must recognize the duality in her, and through her learn to use his own intuition without fear. He must understand that she guards her truth carefully and uses her power subjectively rather than with the brightness of objectivity to decide who is worthy recipient of her knowledge. He must appreciate the value of silence and considered response before he is initiated and allowed to pass through the pillars towards greater knowledge. Associations and secondary images. Most of the High Priestess associations are with the moon. The Roman Luna or Greek Selene. Veritas as the Roman goddess of truth has her place, as does Fides, a goddess of honesty. Themis, the Greek goddess of justice, and Mat, the Egyptian goddess of order and balance. Crescent moon, the crescent moon at her feet symbolizes the high priestess's understanding of her own sense of being. She is young, without blemish, and not yet mature. Her task is to initiate, to create new beginnings. The cross, the equal armed cross on her breast, is what is sometimes known as the solar cross. It signifies the balance between any two polarities, good and evil, light and dark, male and female. Flowing robes, the high priestess's robes, used initially to hide what she knows, change to become almost water-like, highlighting the inherent symbolism of emotion and power. Headdress, the high priestess's headdress is a powerful symbol that demonstrates her allegiance and status as Lady of the Moon. It signifies the waxing, waning, and full moon, and today is accepted as a symbol or sigil to signify three potential aspects of woman: maid, mother, and crone. Pillars. The pillars have several significance. One is the doorway to greater knowledge. The second is the duality inherent in humanity. They are also a depiction of the horn and ivory pillars at the entrance to Solomon's temple, signifying the polarities from which creation is said to have begun. The B and J stand for Boaz, the feminine principle, and Joachim, the masculine principle, also thought to mean maker and redeemer. Scroll. The scroll signifies ancient knowledge. Inscribed with the word Torah, it denotes her own spiritual truth, which she chooses to keep concealed. Veil, decorated with palms and pomegranates, symbolizing knowledge, learning, wisdom, victory, and fruitfulness. The veil, suspended between two pillars, conceals the mystery of these joys to come. So the key elements, the element is water, the key features, the element's water, the planet's the moon. Numerology, this card is designated 2, signifying duality and fluctuation between two polarities. Deities is Luna and Selene, Veritas, Fides, Themis, and Mat. Keywords are consciousness, change, and fluctuation. And related concepts is Sophia as the principle of wisdom. She is the root essence of consciousness, the regulation of the flow, direction, and energy of vibration. So interesting. So that's it for today. If you want me to Okay, so that's a little bit about the High Priestess as well. Just to sort of give you a bit of a clue about the series that I've been doing. So if you want me to dive into more of the symbols of more of the cards, let me know. So I just sort of wanted to sort of reiterate that I've been diving into tarot and dreams using the symbology of the cards. It's quite interesting to sort of dive in and sort of say, okay, so we looked at the foundations of the tarot, right? We looked at the foundations of our dream, which was interesting. So what else is the dream trying to tell us? Oh, and the card that popped out was the Seven of Pentacles. So the Seven of Pentacles is a sense of, what do I want to bring into my life? What am I reflecting upon? And so we have a look at the book, right? So we have a look at the guidebook here, and it tells us that the Seven of Pentacles, so we look at the Seven of Pentacles in here. Seven of Pentacles says there's unfulfilled success despite good management of resource. Seven suggesting that something more is required. So maybe we haven't quite been, we don't feel very satisfied with our success that we're having, even though that we are managing whatever it is that we want to bring into our journeys. It could be about secrets revealed. Maybe there's a sense of that consciousness coming forward. Maybe there's knowledge that needs to come through, and it could be due to being that our success is unfulfilled in some way. So the book sort of gives us that little bit more information maybe to reflect on, to think about in some way. So it's interesting to have a look at different people. So if you want to share your dreams, and maybe we can look at a little bit more about the symbology of our dreams. So we can use our dreams tarot card with dream manipulation, which I think is really, really interesting. Dream manipulation is a technique that can be used to enhance our understanding of our own dreams and further our understanding of the links between dreams and tarot. Sometimes in dreams there is an intensity of emotion that can be extremely frightening. We may be incapable of feeling such an emotion in everyday life, but for some reason can allow ourselves to be terrified in nightmares and bad dreams. With greater proficiency at dream manipulation, we can often change the outcome of a bad dream into a good one. Originally known as the acronym RISC, this technique was developed in the second half of the 20th century in America as a therapeutic tool to deal with bad dreams. More positively, it can be used to manipulate less bothersome dreams. Once we have studied our dream carefully to our own satisfaction, we are able to take it forward and work with possible helpful conclusions. For instance, we might dream of driving a lorry that's out of control and about to crash into a brick wall. We wake up just before we hit the brick wall. After careful consideration, we decide this mirrors a work-related issue over which we have no control. Considering more deeply, we first recognize that in the act of waking up, we have become aware of the problem and have escaped from a bad dream. We can then consciously manipulate the ending of the dream to indicate a suitable way of dealing with the issue, at the same time remaining objective because it is the images with which we are dealing and not the situation itself. Using the technique of visualization, we can imagine ourselves jumping from the lorry before it crashes, thereby risking personal injury. Alternatively, we might decide to crash into the wall and envisage ourselves being captivated over the obstacle. We might drive around it, or if we trust our own judgment, decide it is an obstacle that after careful consideration has no validity and is therefore not a threat. At that point, we might decide that which most sensible action is to apply the brakes and take back control of the vehicle. We then apply that solution in waking life and slow down whatever was impending headlong rush towards disaster. Occasionally it is you, the dreamer, who is most surprised by the changes which then occur. You may become more able to deal with issues that have previously proved difficult, or find the inner conflicts more easily and efficiently handled. Rerunning the dream in your own mind when awake will usually show which adjustment is the best outcome for you. Using tarot symbolism. Extension of this method is to choose a tarot illustration to clarify the issues. We might in this case choose the Emperor, that as we have seen signifies control. So let's go back and let's grab the Emperor for a minute, because we just talked about the lorry driving out of control. So think about a card that represents your dream in some way. So we're looking at the Major Arcana that reflects your dreams in some way. So let's just grab the Emperor. Cool. There it is. There's the Emperor. So that's the card that we want at the moment. So we're looking at how we can. Okay, so using tarot symbolism for our dream. Extension of this method is choose a tarot illustration to clarify the issue. So in this case, we might choose the Emperor, that, as we have seen, signifies control over the practical aspects of life. After carefully studying its meaning, so we go back to the book. So we go back to the book here. And, oh, I don't think I did the Empress. I haven't done it. So we go back and we have a look at the Emperor. So it signifies, after carefully studying its meaning and secondary images and perhaps meditating on it. So we have a look. We go back to the book here. And we go back and let's just have a quick look at the Emperor. Here. So the Emperor, knowing others is intelligence, knowing yourself is true wisdom, mastering others is strength, mastering yourself is true. So let's look at the significance. The Emperor is the counterpoint to the gentler feminine energy of the Empress. Often taken to represent a father figure or mentor, the Emperor, while always prepared to accept responsibility, can also find it a burden. Under these circumstances, he can become mean-spirited and controlling. Then he becomes rigid and unbending and somewhat childlike in his responses. Given the opportunity to show his maturity, however, he develops much more into the kindly father role. Our traveller finds him in all of the enthusiasm, energy, and assertiveness with which he began his own journey, but this time directed to a more self-centered end. Strong-willed and to a degree, autocratic. The Emperor teaches him the art of leadership and how to create a firm basis for the empire that he, the traveller, will create in the future. He must be pragmatic and down to earth, but also aware of the legacy he will leave behind. Associations and secondary images. The main associations for the Emperor are those of authority and leadership. As a good general, he is both Roman Mars, the warrior, and Jupiter, the father figure. As the Demiurge, the creator or controller of the Platonic thought, he fashions already created material and gives it form. Thus, he makes things real. Mars is also the Emperor's controlling planet. Hi, Nupa. Welcome, welcome. I'm just discussing the Dream Oracle book, okay, at the moment. So we're just looking at the Emperor here. So what we're doing is we're looking at a dream that came up in regards to being out of control. So what we're doing is we're looking at the tarot card that could represent being in control. So I'm just looking at the symbols in the card. So we have the Ankh here. We have the Ankh here, and this talks about the cross appears frequently in the Major Arcana in one form or another. Here it is both protective and a sign of internal life stretching as far back as Egyptian times and the beginning of magic. Oh, I'm good, thanks, Napur. Good, good. Just sort of wanted to do a bit of a learning video. I just wanted to add it to my channel. So I just thought I'd do a live one for a change before I relax and that. So we got the armor of the Emperor, protects him from external attack, but also gives him the confidence to carry out his task. It is a sense of rightness that carries him forward and allows him to meet challenges head on with courage. Then the Emperor here wears a crown. So the Emperor's crown symbolizes the intellectual ability to enable him to be an effective ruler. It is not flamboyant, but again points his innate authority and right to rule. Next, he has the orb in his hand. Okay, so there's a little bit of an orb in his hand here. So the sphere of completeness highlights the Emperor's ability to form his own domain and rule over it. It also indicates his grasp on the material world and everything that signifies. Okay, so now we have the ram's heads. Okay, so the ram's heads are in the cards here. There are two potential significances in this crucial image. The Emperor has been assigned to the sign of Aries, signifying his ability as a leader. The second significance is slightly more subtle, indicative of a potential state of transition from leadership in the more mundane world to the spiritual aspects of a follower, a discipline, or a member of flock. Then next we look at his rich robes, his red coloured robes. Okay, they're rich in colour. In colour versions of the cards, apparently the robes are in two shades of red. The first is that of the physical purely physical arena. The second, a rich burgundy, indicates that the Emperor is in touch with the spiritual realm and works wisely and well. So we look at the key features. So he's an element of fire. He's planet Mars. He's an astrological sign Aries. He's numerology 4, which signifies he's solid, tangible, and stable, uniting physical and spiritual principles in one whole. His deities are Zeus and Jupiter. The key words are energy, authority, creative, and force. And related concepts are ambition and achievement, initiation of energy, and divine masculine power. Hi, Egyptian famous. I'm just looking at Dreams and Oracle. This is the book here that I'm doing at the moment, the Dream Oracle. And we're looking at tarot. Now, I was just talking about having a dream that a little bit felt like everything was out of control. So we look at the major card in relation to being in control. Hi, Joan. And we look at the tarot symbolism of the card, which I've just read out with the Emperor here. So we look at how we can manipulate our dreams to look at the meaning of the card and the secondary images, and perhaps we meditate on it. So we meditate on the card, so it gives us how to resolve our problems intuitively. So we ask for the dream we want the next evening using the card methods. With practice, you'll be able to stimulate your dreaming mind into giving you the answers you need to help with difficult situations in waking life. So let's go to page 81 in the book. So we're going to use the dream method. Okay, so there's lots of ways you can do this. Okay. Use the word cards as a memory jogger. The steps are: clarify the issue, ask the question, repeat it, dream and document, and study the dream. So the first step means you spend some time clarifying exactly what your issue is. There's no need to try to resolve the situation at the point. You then ask a question with as much relevance as possible. Ask the questions who, what, where, when, and why, and sort out in your own mind exactly what the relevant question is. Repeat the question at least 3 times and possibly 9. That way you're fixing it into the subconscious and opening up the possibility that your dream oracle can give you the answer. Dream command means informing your inner self that you will have a dream that will help. Document your dream briefly as soon as you can, noting down the main theme and main and secondary images. Next, study the dream in more detail when you have time. Consider the imagery with the dream carefully. It will probably be fairly clear-cut and straightforward. Look for details, clues, and potentially hidden meanings. Lastly, see if any of the images can be related to the tarot. So let's have a think about your dreams. What dreams have you had recently? So Joan, Egyptian, whoever's here, tell me about, maybe you've got a dream and you've thought about your dream and you want to explore it a little bit further. So if you want to explore your dream a little bit further, let me know. And so maybe you've had a dream, and so just say, hey, I've had a dream and I want to know a little bit more about it. So let's use the cards to explore your dream. If you want to, let me know. If you want to have a look, I just want to sort of share the posts that I've been doing. This is a dream. I have got quite a lot of videos in regards to the dream oracle in different ways. Let me just, I'll just put that here. So this book, there are some oracles in there. So if you want to explore your dream, so you've had strange shapes as your dream. So you're looking at strange shapes. So let's have a look at what it says within regards to shapes. Let's see if it can give us a little bit of information. Let's see if I've got shapes in here. 106 to 11. So 106 to 11. Page 106. Whoops. Okay, shapes. So there's a section in this book. Let me remove this. Sorry, let me just remove this curtain because it's brassing me off now. I'm trying to explain this. Right. So we're going to look at this section on shapes. So can you describe your shape? Is there dots in the shape? A dot in the center. Is it oval, spiral, labyrinth, triangle, hexagram, square, cross, diamond, star or pentacle, the swastika? Maybe it's something to do with the Fibonacci numbers, the golden spiral. So your dreams, so your shapes or patterns are all related. So for an example, let's just say that you have, it's a spiral. So the spiral is symbolically the perfect path to evolution, the principle that is everything is continually in motion, but also continually rising up or raising its vibration. Oh, an airplane. Okay, so you're an airplane that crashed. Okay, so if it's anything to do with dots, it says dots symbolize a central point from which everything starts in relation to patterning is the point from which the pattern grows. Okay, so you talked about an airplane. Let's have a look and see what it says about an airplane. Okay, so I think it's in travel, I think. 199. Let's have a look at what it says about airplanes first. Oh, airplane. Okay, an airplane suggests a swift, easy journey with some attention to detail, but you talked about crashing, right? Okay, let's see if it's got about plane crashes. Let's have a look, see if it says about crashes. Okay, so let's have a look and see if it's got about or accidents. Dreaming of accidents highlights anxieties we have with regard to safety or carelessness. Okay. So just going through and having a look at what the dream could relate to with the imagery. So just having a little bit of a look-see here. I don't want to go into too much detail with dreams because you can look up the symbology anywhere. There's lots of websites in regards to dreams and things like that. Oh, here we go. So I could put the dream tower. That's what it said, didn't it? Start working with the, don't know what the weather was like or time, position, color. Just having a little bit of a look-see here. Nature, echo, animals, obstructions and obstacles. So it's quite interesting. You can really sort of dive into it. So let's have a look. Let's have a look and see if we can go. Okay, so tell us about Joan's dream. Let's have a look at Joan's dream. Whoa! Joan's dream. Okay, there was definitely a shift. Okay, talks about moving. Okay, we're talking about your dream in regards to the airplane that crashed. Okay, and that weird. So it's all about. Okay, so we're talking about moving forward. Okay, there's something blocking you in regards to maybe your passions. Could be definitely about your maybe something you know, there's definitely talking about shifting forward, but something's blocking you because we're talking about crashing, right? So something was blocking you in regards to your passions, okay, your creativity, maybe in something stopping you from reaching your goal. Okay, what else can you tell us about the heart of Joan's dream? Okay, let's have a look at seeing the heart of Joan's dream. Let's have a look. Could be about not being able to go full hog, not being able to dive deep into your passion or your creativity. Definitely not being able to dive into something fully. Feels like you're being stopped, you're being delayed, and not being able to achieve your dream. I definitely feel like it's to do with your creative energy, your sensuality. Could also be about your identity. Maybe something stopping you from really, you've got some blocks that are stopping you from diving deep into who you are as a you know, not being able to surrender to that in some way. Look deeper, you know, I mean, you know who you are, but look deeper at some issues or something within yourself. So maybe that's, you know, it's an emotional thing. Maybe it feels like you're putting your emotions aside at for some reason, Joan. Oh, okay. So that might be the crash. It's like it's stopping you from being able to fully achieve your result. Okay, so that's what I feel like the crash was talking about. So using the tarot cards to really focus on it. Okay, so what does Joan need to do? Oh, this one fella here. It's about planning and strategizing, being able to dive deep into what you need. It may take some battles, but I do feel like you can move forward with some planning, some strategizing. Planning and strategizing, Joan, could really, really help. So what's the next step for Joan to move through this block? Being able to face, being able to truly look at it. Being able to truly look at what's going on. Being able to truly look. Okay, so being able to face what you need to. It's like you're turning your head away from things at some stage. It's like you're saying, oh no, I can't be bothered. I'm just not going to look. I'm not going to look at what's going on. So really important for you to acknowledge your achievements, but be able to move into the new cycle. Okay, so planning and strategizing is going to be really important for you. Sort of sitting down and doing a to-do list. Okay, make a plan. Being able to face what's blocking you. Being able to really look at things and go, okay, this is what I need to achieve. And I know I need to do it too. There's some things that I need to plan and do instead of procrastinating. But so I'm doing videos instead of things. So quite interesting to look at that in regards to your dream. So does that make sense, Joan? Yeah, I felt like you're turning your head away. Yeah, so if you were able to face the explosion, yeah. So if you were able to face that explosion, I feel like you would be able to face your fears or face your yeah. So it was quite interesting to look at how you can use tarot with your dreams. Okay, I started looking at, I've done some of the examples that I've done, you can see on my channel, on my YouTube channel, you can see some of the symbology of the dream oracle. I've done a playlist with it as well, so you can sort of see a little bit about how I work with dream and tarot. But I want to sort of introduce it a little bit here, just to sort of give you a chance to really sort of look at your own dreams. And thanks for giving me that example of how we can look at using tarot with dreams. So I just wanted to sort of share that a little bit. So just something a bit different, a bit of a learning video, really. So we're not always doing, I just felt like doing something a bit different than just reading the tarot. I just want, well, even though I've done a reading for you, but it's to do with the dreams and not just necessarily things. So I really appreciate that, Joan. That was cool. It's just a bit different. I just wanted to share something a little different. Yeah. So I just wanted to share something in regards to looking at tarot and dreams, just for a bit different. So just to introduce it a little bit more, just to sort of share it a little bit. Just wanted to be on for just an hour and just sort of share it a little bit about working with dreams and things like that, and looking at your environment and where you are and how you can let me just move this thing. So looking at some of the things in regards to dream manipulation, I think is really good. Meditation is another way. I think it's really cool too, when you're thinking about your dreams and things, choosing a card. Okay, so what card is going to be really important for Joan for meditation? Okay, what tarot card is going to be super important for Joan for meditation in regards to her dreams? Okay, so this card here popped out. The Fool. Bringing a sense of new beginnings, being cautious, maybe taking a risk. You know, what else does the Fool tell us when we look at the dog? We're talking about being loyal to oneself. Maybe with just having the knapsack on his thing, we've got our bare necessities. So maybe we need to look at, in regards to your crash, looking at the bare necessities. So looking at the Fool and standing on that edge, standing on that cliff. Are you ready to face what needs to be faced? Are you ready to do what needs to be done? Are you ready to overcome any obstacles, you know, with the mountains in the background? Have the sunshine, have the things exposed, brought out into the open in some way. Maybe with the right roses, that sense of purity, that sense of cleansing away the stuff that, yeah, diving into the dream world. So this is what this is going to be doing, is you're diving into the dream world. Things are going to be exposed, things are going to be brought out into the open. Maybe the bare necessities, the vulnerability is going to come through once you cleanse away, purify the debris, the clutter. And it's being loyal to yourself, enabling yourself to do this. So that could be, the Fool could be your card for meditation, for reflection in some way. So looking into that. So you can look at the video that I did, or at the beginning of this one, where we've got the Fool and how I explain the Fool and its interpretations and its card and things like that. So you can dive in a little bit more with that, which is quite interesting when you start looking at more and more details. So you could look at, and let's have a look and see if we've got here. So you can look at your colors. Let's have a look at colors in regards to dreams. Okay, so let's have a look at colors in regards to dreams. Where are we? I mean, there's so much I could explore in this book. and it's going to take a long time to go through it. But I just wanted to really sort of share some thoughts in regards to working with dreams. So I just want to see if I can get into the colors. I'm sure there was a section on colors. Colors, here we go. So what color was, can you remember what color was quite significant in your dream? Think about what color was significant in your dream. So think about a color. So black, blue, brown, yellow, orange, magenta, red, turquoise, violet, white. So you think about that color. So once you've decided on what color it is, then you can research it to what it means. So for example, blue is the color of the clear sky. It's also a primary healing color. Brown is the color of the earth, but it also represents grounding and stability. Green is the color of nature of plant life. It also suggests about nourishing yourself, particularly our aspirations and desires. There's no true grey, only shades of mixture of black and white, which in dreams will suggest degrees of negativity and positivity. So the explosion was a bright white. So let's have a white contains all colours, and when passed through a prism, gives us the colours of rainbow. In dreams, this can represent the stages of growth we go through as we reach maturity or progress on our journey. For me, white can also be a sense of cleansing away. Let's have a look, see if it gives us a little bit more. Okay, white light holds all color. From a spiritual perspective, this balance provides a backdrop to the whole of existence. So it's talking about, okay, white can suggest innocence, spiritual purity, and wisdom. So maybe it's about looking at things as an innocent, looking at things from a different perspective. So growth and cleansing, yeah, it makes sense. Spiritual purity and wisdom gained. So I think you can gain a lot of wisdom from exploring your dreams, from your growth. So quite interesting when you start really diving into it. Now, let's have a look at your dream in the way of environment. So maybe you can look at or what was the weather? Was there any significant weather? What was the weather like in your dream? What was the weather like in your dream? Because weather is such an integral part of our everyday lives. It can almost go unnoticed in dreams, but it often highlights a particular theme or idea. For example, storms, thunder, and lightning all have an innate connection with the element of fire and are much to do with passion of one sort or another. This can also be negative in a sense of an outburst of aggression and rage, or positive in the sense of a blinding flash of inspiration, depending on what else is going on, but it gives you an idea. So really depending on what sort of your weather is to what it could mean for you. It's quite interesting. So let's have a look and see if it gives us a little bit more. So like sun, a sunny day in dreams therefore signifies that we're at the time particularly blessed, even though we may not notice. Fair weather with a few clouds. So clouds, let's have a look and see if I've got anything to do with clouds in here. I should do, but it's just finding the information is interesting. So we've got fog and mist. No, basically it just says that different types of weather may symbolic a deeper inner response. Recognizing the weather can become much of a changing. We have to be careful to adjust our conduct. So really it just talks about sun as being blessed, blessing, but maybe the clouds are therefore coloring it, maybe covering us in some way. So let's have a look and see if I've got anything to do with clouds in this in here. Oh, no, it doesn't really say. Maybe it's got water, the Tower Dream, characters and participation. So was there any other people in the was family involved? Any animals in the dream? So maybe it's just about being a if you, it's a sort of a normal day, maybe nothing of expectations. So I don't know if they've got any. So I don't know if you've got any people involved, any mythical creatures. So quite interesting to really sort of dive into it in many, many ways. Was there any furniture? Computer, telephone, high technology images can all be part of the dream as well. So it's quite interesting to really dive deep into your dream. So yeah, I just wanted to share a little bit of that with you. I know a couple of people came in early and wanted reading straight away, and I was still in the middle of sort of introducing it. But yeah, I just sort of wanted to share that a little bit of an aspect, a little different. So yeah, I thought that was quite interesting. Oh, the book is called Dream Oracle. Got it secondhand. I don't know if you can get it brand new, but you might be able to get it from a secondhand store, Amazon, eBay, Abe's Books, something like that. You know, dive into it, have a look, see if you can get it secondhand. Don't get it too expensive. Don't get it too expensive. Some people get a bit ridiculously pricing books, but yeah, because I think it might. I'm not sure if it's out of print. Only cost me a few dollars. What, five New Zealand dollars? Not much. But you got it from secondhand shops. So have a look around secondhand shops or anything like that, maybe. I know it's out of print, but I just find it really, really good to have a really good book that you can dive into. Now, talking about books, let's see. Oh, here it is. Let me have a look at a couple of tarot books. Okay, this is another really good book to use that you could use for the same thing, for your dreams and things like that, but in a different way in working with tarot. So you could say, for an example, let's just say for an example, okay, what's the heart of my dream? Okay, this is an example. What's the heart of my dream? So the card that pulls out is the Two of Pentacles, right? So let me have a read in this one here. Let's have a look at the Two of Pentacles in Mindful Tarot. That's the aces. I don't want that. I want the twos. Okay, twos. Twos reflection. Okay, let's look at this. The symmetry of the natural world, including the symmetry of the human body, is perhaps the most influential fact of our lives. Early on in the life of cells, things branch out right and left, up and down. The cosmos continually expresses choice and mirror image. We see duality, balance, opposition, and reflection in nearly every phenomenon we encounter. We divide our experiences and our judgments into pairs and dichotomies. On one hand, but on the other hand, we polarize our options into good and bad, male and female, yes and no. We've seen this profound tendency towards dualism already repeatedly in the tarot, and it is tendency most powerfully represented by the suit of swords, yet each suit grapples in its own way with the symmetry, polarity, reflection, and balance of life. So you could go here. Okay,
Often understood as a card about creating balance, the Two of Pentacles might also invoke creation itself. For some artists and readers, the card represents the relationship between creativity and distraction. So maybe the dream had something to do with creation and distraction, right? In general, the card points to those moments when life becomes a juggling act, when our best efforts require an ability to create flow. In Coleman Smith's imagery for the 1909 Waite-Smith deck, behind the juggling figure, we see two ships riding the waves. In a very real sense, we're all waiting for our ship to come in. We'll see the same adventurous seafaring imagery in other cards like the Three of Wands. We all invest in the world. We all put ourselves, our abilities and our material capacities out there. We hope for gain and return, but inevitably our investment becomes uncertainty. When it comes to those wavy vicissitudes of life, there's only so much that we can control. The Two of Pentacles reminds us of the importance of fluidity in our efforts and engagements in the world. Our ship may not come in. We may not get what we want. Everything may founder and crash. It's important to keep supple in our relationship with nature and our relationship with the world of resources. So a friend of Lisa's says, keeping your knees bent, the wide, subtle stance of a surfer. I only know about surfing from riding the L as a teenager in Chicago. Oh, that's Lisa talking about that. But subway surfing is a great art. Avoid getting too rigid. Keep the knees bent. Learn to let go of the strap and pole. Keeping ourselves subtle is the only way to absorb the shocks and shifts of our busy multitasking lives. The Two of Pentacles with its nimble bent kneed figure remind us to ride the waves. Hi, Charlie. So that's another way that you could do for your dreams. Okay, if you can't get hold of that dream oracle book, try Mindful Tarot. It gives you a way to sort of dive a little bit deeper into the cards, into your dreams. You could say, you know, what was my dream about? So it could be definitely about, maybe you feel like you're crashing, you're not, you're trying to juggle too much, you know, things are going too much. So it's quite interesting to look about tarots and dreams. So what's your dream about is a great way to sort of start the reading and start looking at the cards by choosing a book that gives you maybe a little bit more information about the card. So hi, how are you going, Charlie? How are you? I'm good. So we're talking about tarot and dreams. Basically, I started with this book here. I've done a bit of a series on my YouTube channel with this book. So there's quite a few, there's a playlist with a few videos already in it, which is what I'm talking about. And I just wanted to share a little bit about this book here, Mindful Tarot. When you sort of do a thing, what's my dream about? So if you want to talk about, so if you've been dreaming at the moment and you want to know a little bit more about your dream, we're happy to dive into it with a little bit of, you know, if you've got a little bit of thing, if you want to dive into a dream at the moment, maybe you're having a few nights where your dreams sort of seem to sort of feel a little bit overwhelming, a little bit too much with things going on. So if you want to dive into that, I'm more than happy to answer with you travel in your dreams. Okay, so we could look at, okay, so you're talking about traveling. So we know that it's talking about moving forward. Okay, so your dreams are reminding you to maybe move forward. So let's have a look. So what's the heart of Charlie's dreams? So what's the heart of Charlie's dreams? Let's have a look here. Oh, okay. Okay, your travel could indicate maybe some legalities that you could be dealing with. Maybe you are trying to find a sense of equilibrium by traveling forward. You're trying to create a bit of equilibrium, a bit of balance in your life. Maybe you're seeking the truth of a situation that's going on for you at this time. But let's have a look at, well, you know, sort of we're talking about traveling in so many ways. It's a transitional dream, isn't it? So it is talking about, so how are you traveling? What sort of, are you traveling in a vehicle or a truck, or depends on how you're traveling in your dream. Like a car dream could be a sense of self, reflection of how we handle life, and the image we wish to think. Maybe it's a lorry. Maybe it's a commercial van, a flatbed truck, a bus journey. Maybe it's a bus journey. A bus journey in dreams has a great deal to do with a public image in waking life. It signifies the impetus that enables us to be with other people with whom we share the need to be making progress. A train, an aeroplane, small rowing boat, a yacht, cruise liner, speedboat. Oh, I see. You mean you travel spiritually. Ah, so you don't always remember it. Okay, so if you travel spiritually, okay, so the heart, so it could be about trying to find a sense of equilibrium. Okay, so you travel spiritually in your dreams. Oh, I see what you mean. I thought you were talking about vision, talking about traveling as in like in a vehicle or something like that. So you astral travel. Okay, so Shaylee's, oops, let's have a look, see if I can get a little bit more. Okay, what's the heart? Give us a little bit more information in regards to Shaylee's spiritual travel, about astral travel. Astral travel. Okay, it's like you're trying to break free. Maybe you're trying to break free from some chains, something that's keeping you chained to a situation. Maybe this astral travel or the spiritual travel is about is breaking free from what's keeping you anchored in this world. Hi, Talion. I'm doing dream stuff. We're talking about dreams. So if you've got a dream that you want to explore. Okay, Chailey, so you're talking about spiritually traveling, right? So maybe you're looking at a sense of trying to find a sense of balance, equilibrium in your dream with your spiritual travel. You're trying to break free from what's keeping you anchored at this time. And so you're trying to bring, I feel like you're just trying to bring in a wealth of energy, a wealth of well-being in some way into your journey. So yeah, I do feel like you're just looking at so maybe you're exploring a little bit more with your dreams in regards to just trying to break free from what's going on. You're trying to bring a sense of abundance into your life. So we're talking about dream manipulation. So what card, so we're looking at what card does Chailey need to focus on before she goes to sleep? So what card does Chailey, oh, interesting, Judgment, awakening, a sense of resurrecting one's true self. So this is the card that you need to focus on for you when you go to bed at night, and it's going to allow you to sort of remember your dream a little bit, remember your spiritual travel a little bit more. So yeah, so that could be really, really important for you with your dreams. To remember them is by focusing on this Judgment card. Focus on the meanings of judgment. Focus on what this card could mean for you. Meditate on the imagery. Have a look at the flag, the trumpet, Gabriel, the people that are coming out of their coffins, standing up, surrendering, the naked. Ah, interesting. So, but this could be but this could be about resurrecting your true self. This is to do with your dreams, your spiritual, yeah. No, this is, I asked, Shaylee, I asked, what card do you need to reflect on? What card do you need to reflect on before you go to bed? So this is about dreams. I'm talking about dreams. So, yeah. I'm really focusing on dreams at the moment. So, yeah. So, hi, Talian. Hi, Dr. Jobeth Thomas. So I'm really just talking about dreams at the moment, talking about the dream oracle here, using tarot symbolism with your dreams and how you can use it to manipulate your dreams to continue your, yeah, when you're sleeping. That's right. This is about when you're sleeping. So we're talking about dreams, sleeping, manipulating your dreams when you sleep. Yeah. Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, only you know what you're talking. Only you know what the card really means. Okay, so okay, gotcha. Okay, cool. So we're just talking about the hidden depths through symbolism and the tarot. So we're talking about your dream journey. And so I've done a series of these videos on my YouTube channel already, and I just wanted to share a little bit more about it today. So if you want to talk about your dream, so just share your dream. Yeah, if you've had a dream, you want to share about it, and you want to know a little bit more about your dream, yeah, that's what I'm basically doing today. Just having a bit of a look-see at just a couple of dreams examples of what it means. What's the heart of your dream, and what card you need to reflect on, meditate on before you actually go to sleep. And that's going to help you remember your dream. It's going to help manipulate your dream a little bit more, and focus on what's important for you. So I just wanted to share a little bit about the dream oracle and that. So Talian, did you want to dive into your dreams, or I'm not sure if anybody else is there? So you help people work with that. You help people cross over when you're sleeping. That's interesting. That's interesting. So yeah, the resurrecting card is really appropriate then. The judgment card. Interesting. So yeah, so I'm not sure. So I'm not still here. I'm not sure who's still here. Of course, I don't know whether Talian wanted or whether she was just interested in doing just readings, and that seems to be. I just wanted to share a little bit, really, just for a video. I couldn't be bothered recording it. I just thought, oh, bugger, I'll just do a live with it, just for a change. And yeah, I can come back and do some readings though. Don't know whether I should come back and do some readings. So I don't know whether I should come back, because I don't think anybody else is here. And it's okay. I was just cruising. So Joan, what do you think? could do just for half an hour or something, just do a 30-minute live or something. Might go and yeah, I just wanted to share a little bit. You can go and find out a whole lot more with my playlist of the playlist that I've done in regards to this with using the tarot. I created a whole lot of tarot spreads by using the book as well. I created a whole lot of different tarot spreads that are on the playlist. So yeah, there's lots of information in here. So yeah. Oh, okay, that sounds good. That sounds really good. Teardrop. I'll have a look. Okay, well, if you're going to go and do your laundry before bed, I might close up, make myself a hot drink, and I might set up. I'm procrastinating. There's some jobs that I'm supposed to do today, and I'll do them tomorrow. Hopefully. Might have to do one job today, but I'll do it later. I want to do it sort of when it gets a bit in the evening, when everyone's sort of not around. Okay, I'll see you later. Okay, I'm just going to leave it with this one here. Let me do this. Yeah, I've got to commit to doing one thing. I know. I'll do it later. It's all right. Okay. Okay, so that's it from me. See you later, alligator.